Welcome everyone to Domestic Violence Wears Many Tags Classroom. We are going to discuss today the 5 tags of domestic violence. We are also going to chime into the abuser side education, the warning signs of an abusive personality, male and female perspective. Our number one tag is verbal abuse. And the reason for that is that a lot of times with domestic violence cases, it starts off verbal, where the person is being groomed into becoming a victim. And we'll tap into that a little bit more. It's that communication that we have at the dinner table. Are we talking about our feelings? Are we addressing and confronting issues at our dinner table? Or are we using, language that is inappropriate, negative, speaking to one, down talking each other at the dinner table? Are these the things that we're doing in terms of verbal abuse, discounting someone's feelings? Are we attacking each other at the dinner table? And a lot of times with this, you'd be surprised, but the abuser knows this very well. So the abuser know how to make that victim feel down inside, make them feel a out of body experience. And a lot of times with victims, they can't believe what is happening to them. So they don't necessarily see this as verbal abuse. It's more so as their normal conversation. How is that? Because if you go up there at dinner table and that's the communication that you have, that's the communication that you'll bring into your intimate partner relationships and friendships, work, parent-child relationships. You're going to bring this with you. Verbal abuse then goes into emotional abuse because now the words are setting in your body. And literally ruling your mind. And, we do all kind of things to try to cope with the verbal abuse and the emotional abuse. These are the top 2 tags that victims always say. Beat me up, kick me, strangle me, but don't verbally and emotionally abuse me. Why? Because these 2 last for a long time, years and years and years. And we have survivors who have not gotten over the verbal and the emotional abuse that comes in some of our relationships. Then we're going to go right into financial abuse. This is a tag that a lot of people, don't know. Tag number 3. This is 1, 2, and 3. Financial abuse, because the victim don't necessarily in fact, I know plenty of victims that do not identify this as being a tag of domestic violence. Okay? But you know that you've been paying for this relationship. You've been putting out your credit card. You've been, the one who supplies all the household needs. If the abuser break a phone, you're going to get the abuser another phone. The vandalism of property. That costs money. And when somebody is doing that, it's a very serious piece, because if you are the type of victim who, say, well, I spoiled him, I spoiled her. Okay, so that one time you want to say no could be your last time, because the abuser's not going to understand you financially taking care of me, and then you just abruptly say, I'm not doing it anymore, right? this is another piece where the abuser manages the accounts, checking all the time the account, as well as if it gets too bad, the abuser will then want to do a joint account where he or she can run the money while a victim may work a job, may get a check, disability, whatever. And all the while, the abuser is costing you money, and of course, if we're gonna say being in a healthy relationship, then two people need to come with some healthy finances to, uphold the relationship. So you got to be very careful with this. I've seen this too, where we're saying, she gotta leave or he gotta leave. Y'all should just leave the relationship. Well, if they got children involved, where are they going? Because financially, nobody can sustain that. You know what I mean? So we tell a victim to just leave. And we should not, because where's the victim going to go? Where are they going to go? And number two, the abuser know everywhere that the victim is going. So in something like this, where are they going? That's why we have to tread lightly when we are giving advice, when it comes to domestic violence. I wish every victim could pick up and leave, but they cannot, because for one, they don't have the financial means to do it. And for two, the abuser knows the whereabouts of the victim, all right? Which at the end of the day, that's still going to cost money. When the abuser come and find them, that's still going to cost money. You have to pay attention to, your finances in your relationship. You can't buy love because you turn that person into a potential monster. Sexual abuse number 4 is this tag. Sexual abuse. This is where it's a no inside of you. It's a no inside of you. It's, you don't want to do it. But you have to. Sometimes victims have to do this tag in order to save their own lives in the relationship. Sometimes they have to do this to get that abuser, male or female abuser, to calm down. And they can live again for a couple more hours or another day at least. So sometimes they have to do this. And on the other side, the flip side is what? The abuser takes it. And don't you think for 1 minute that women don't rape men, all right? Don't think for 1 second. They do, all right? And there's cases out there that will prove that men are victims of rape as well as women. The other part of this tag is that there's child-on-child sexual abuse. And it's not them exploring the body parts. A lot of times, it could be that older child luring a younger child to do things that are inappropriate. Physical abuse. I made this the last tag because guess what? The best abuser do not put their hands on you. Do not. This is what they do. Right here, 1 and 2. They do this all day. And this tag can keep, these 2 tags can keep a victim in a relationship for years and years and years. You know why? Because we're still saying, show me the marks. Show me the marks. What marks do you have to prove that you're in a domestic violence? Well, there never has to be any marks. See? Because with these 2 tags, the victim is psychologically out of their own mind. And that is absolutely what the abuser wants. One thing that the abuser is coming for, he or she is coming for the mind of the victim, male or female victim, okay? So you gotta be, on guard with how you're communicating with that other person, okay? Physical abuse. Of course, that could be, bodily harm, deadly force. And one of the things that's, a lot of victims get strangled. They get strangled. And they say, I thank God that I was able to get up. Yeah, you need to thank God that you was able to get up. But the abuser let you up. The abuser let you up. That's really how you got up. See, because the abuser will time it. They know when they can kill the victim. They know this. So if somebody's strangling you, they might start out, maybe slow with a slap, or, you might get punched in the face, pull your hair, stuff like that. But then that's going to escalate into somebody potentially being killed, all right? So we need to tread lightly when we talking about, those marks, because there may never be any marks, all right?